In such circumstances, if there are any constraints, these are purely internal. Our success in living up to our potential or not depends on our competence or on our inaptitude. No external force can be blamed if we do not rise up to global expectations. Therefore, I will emphasize that it is an obligation for all of us in this August gathering to reflect on our roles in ensuring that the process of development are allowed to take place unhindered. It is the vision of a rising India that must guide our actions while discharging our duties. Governors have a critical role to play in our nation's progress. In a way, you are the custodians of our future. You are the representatives of the center in states, and hence you bring a national perspective to a state level action and activities. While many changes have taken place at the national level in the economic sphere over the last 2 decades, much more needs to be done. There is a need to make our growth process more inclusive to ensure that marginalized and weaker sections benefit from economic growth and to ensure that social infrastructure, particularly in health and education, is improved. Much of this is to be done at the state level, and hence the role of governors in ensuring that this happens. As I said earlier, the environment of India's development has never been as favorable as it is now. Increased resources can flow in only if safety and security is ensured. This requires peace, tranquility, and the rule of law. This conference has devoted considerable attention to the challenge of internal security. The challenges we face on the internal security front arise partly as a consequence of the unawareness of our growth process, the inequalities that remain in our social institutions, and the shortcomings sometimes of our political institutions. There may be other more complex issues like language, caste or religion or cultural rights. In this complex world that believe in, all these facts have to be taken into account in evolving a concerted and effective strategy to counter these challenges. Sometimes internal security problems are outright acts of extremism and terrorism for which there can be no space in a democratic polity. A democratized government has to distinguish between the genuine and legitimate expression to dissent and disaffection and the manifestations of anti-national, anti-social and anti-people threats to our democratic way of life. Often these challenges also arise because we are an open society and have allowed free expression to dissent of varying degrees. This is not our weakness but our strength.